is ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. In our major story, Borno Governor Kashim Shettima reveals Boko Haram kills 176 teachers and destroys about 900 schools in the state. Also in this program, protest over impeachment threat in Nasarawa claims lives and homes. Lagos government approves paternity leave for male civil servants in the state. And outside Nigeria, a Malaysian airliner with 295 people on board crashes in Ukraine, killing all.
Tonight on Business News, member states of West African Monetary Zone misses launch date.
In sports, Aminu Megari-led NFF board returns to office as Nigeria beats FIFA's deadline on ban.
It's good to have you join us again for CoreTV Primetime News. The governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, has revealed that about 900 schools have so far been destroyed by members of Boko Haram within the last 3 years. The governor, who stated this during the inaugural meeting of the steering committee of the Safe School Initiative, ordered that a total of 176 teachers have so far been killed by the insurgents. The meeting held at the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance, Abuja, was attended by the Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the Governor of Yobe State, Ibrahim Gaidam, and a representative of the Governor of Adamawa State. Also present at the meeting is the publisher of These Day newspaper, Nduka Obiagbenda, and business mogul Aliko Dangote, Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Sani Sidi, representative of the National Security Advisor, and representatives of the National Council of Women's Societies, Ethna Azura. The meeting was part of measures aimed at ensuring a smooth implementation of the Safe School project. The highlight of the meeting revealed that all members restated their commitment to take all necessary actions to restore safety to schools. The committee was briefed by representatives of the emergency state led by Shettima on the current state of education following the insurgency. The federal government says $1 billion loan it is seeking for the war against terror is necessary. This, according to coordinator of the National Information Center, Mike Omeri, is because the country needs to reinforce its weapon stock. He, however, declined to state how much has so far been spent in fighting insurgency.
Once a country is engaged in any kind of activity of this nature, you sure will lose and deplete your resources. So I don't think it is because the resources are depleted. As per the amount so far spent, I'm not in a position to say so in prosecuting the war. We are still prosecuting the war, so it is preposterous to begin to calculate cost. And even if there is cost, don't forget our citizens are being abducted. And so whatever is that we need to do, that we must do to get our citizens back, we will do it. the country will do it.
Nigerian authorities plan to try the co-mastermind of the Nyanya bombing, Aminu Oguche, under local laws. Coordinator of the National Information Center, Michael Mary, disclosed this in Abuja. He was responding to questions on the possibility of international laws being applied for Oguche's trial. Mary added that his co-conspirator is still a wanted man.
The laws of Nigeria are sufficient enough to try him for the offense for which he's been suspected and for which he would eventually be subjected to. Where the need arises for, other legal processes that are stronger than Nigeria's, then it will be applied. But for now, the laws of Nigeria are clear. And don't forget that there are offenses that local laws supersede international laws. And such as this case, the local laws will apply. And I understand from the security sources is that Abubakar Siga, alias Doctor, one of the co-conspirators and mastermind of the Nyanya blast, is still a wanted person. And therefore, be assured that security forces are watching and on his trail.
Authorities have beefed up security around major prisons in the country to discourage jailbreaks. Comptroller General of the Prison Service, Zakari Ibrahim, disclosed this in an interview with journalists on the sidelines of the decoration of senior prison officials in Abuja.
You know that where people cherish freedom, freedom is golden. When you keep criminals under lock and key or in custody, surrounded by walls, they will want to escape. So in prisons all over the world, we have this challenge of people escaping. But we are trying. Like we have armed squads that tend to guide the perimeter fence from outside. We are also fortifying our perimeter fences. We are exposing the staff to training and retraining. And also, we are also trying our best in the area of reformation and we introduce religious activities to bring change in attitude on the inmates.
The protest against the move by the Nasarawa State House of Assembly to impeach the state governor, Tanko Al-Makura, continued on Thursday as protesters stormed Lafia, the state capital. 2 people died in the protest and 1 person injured when over 5,000 people marched from the government house along Shendam Road, Lafia, through major streets. The state police public relations officer, Ismail Numan, denied knowledge that 2 people were killed, but says security operatives have been deployed in the area to restore peace. He, however, admitted that the house was burnt in the early hours of Thursday, but could not confirm who was responsible. Witnesses say military Hilux van carrying the 2 dead bodies heading to Dr. Agu Hospital was sighted ostensibly to deposit them at the mortuary. A group of youths opposed to the impeachment of the former Adamawa State Governor Murtala Nyako clashed with others who were jubilating over his ouster in Guyok, the country home of the former secretary to the state government, Kobis Thimnu. The clash, which left several people injured and property, especially vehicles worth thousands of naira, destroyed, occurred at the popular 247 Plaza of the town on Thursday. CoreTV News gathered that the trouble started when a group of youths who were celebrating the governor's removal from office taunted those opposed to his removal through songs, dance and gestures considered offensive. The situation was aggravated when soldiers deployed in the area to maintain law and order descended on them. Shop owners who operated at the plaza hurriedly closed their shops for fear of their shops being vandalized by hoodlums who may capitalize on the situation to loot property. A leading member of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Magnus Abe, is convinced that the situation in Adamawa State can never be replicated in his state. Senator Abe told journalists in Abuja several efforts have already been made to remove Governor Rotimi Amechi from office. He was speaking against the backdrop of suggestions by APC leaders that Rivers State as one of the opposition states being targeted.
The issue of trying to remove Governor Amechi has been on long before now. All the forces that you can array have been arraigned against Rivers State, and we are still there. So I don't think Rivers State will be such a simple nut to crack. You know, so those who think that what is happening in Adamawa or Nasarawa, they will just come and replicate it in Rivers State, we are waiting for them. We are not in any way concerned about that. You know, the political machinery in Rivers State is a tested and trusted machine. It won't just buckle like that. Trust me, I should know.
The Yoruba have been urged to foster unity among themselves ahead 2015 general elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has details of the 2014 conference organized by the Confederation of Self-Determination Group in Ibadan. The report is presented from our studios.
The conference was tagged 2015 Agenda for Yoruba Youth. The conference had in attendance dignitaries across southwest Nigeria. Chairman of the occasion, Oluyomi Fini, says the conference is all about strategic and futuristic planning.
The main theme is that the Yoruba should ensure that their votes go to those people who will look after their people and look after their states. I think that's the most important thing. And the items, we all know what to do to help in the development of a people or a state or a zone for that matter. But there are certain things that are very, very important to the Yoruba people. You know, things like education, agriculture, you know, security, and so on and so forth.
The representatives of the Oyo State Governor, Esther Adedoku, pleas for unity among Yoruba people.
We just have to do it. We just, whether by crook or by any means, we just have to be united, because we need this unity for our state, for us to retain our state.
In the same vein, Sholagbade Amodeni, who represented the Osun State Governor and the chairman of the Confederation's Self-Determination Groups, Dayo Ogulano, embraced unity as an agenda for 2015 elections.
First and foremost is cooperation. To be focused. We have enough position papers. We should execute it. There are some that could be said openly, and there are some that should not be said. That is at the incubation stage.
But what we are saying is that Yorubas must ensure we resolve all political disagreements. There are no disagreements except that some people want to be Yoruba leader. Others are saying you are too young to be Yoruba leader. So others are saying you are not doing good, you are not the people, you are not the kind of person to lead us. All we are saying, anything is, if you cannot follow, you cannot be a good follower, you cannot be a good leader. You follow, then you become a leader. There are many people on ground, but what we are saying, we should try as much as possible to resolve our differences.
The organizers appeal to the Yoruba to join hands to do what is gracious for the people.
The sensitization exercise for political parties and stakeholders in preparation towards the August 9 governorship election in Osun State has ended without a communique. Correspondent Rashid reports that the program sponsored by the Office of the Special Advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan on inter-party affairs failed to achieve the desired goal. The report.
Sensitization programs for political parties, politicians and stakeholders are becoming synonymous with the Office of the Special Advisor to President Jonathan on Inter-Party Affairs. The Secretary of the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, Peter Ame, in his speech admonished all to work towards having free, fair and credible elections in Nigeria.
Because for more indication from what I have seen, this workshop has really affected the result and outcome of elections. As we continue to work together as Nigerians, as we continue to do things together, if we are committed to a process of free and fair election, we will always get that. Election in Nigeria should be about the people. It should be about what the people want and what the people want as a result of the election.
After much deliberations and with political players bearing their minds on core issues, they eventually come to terms and agree to reach consensus for peace to reign in Osun.
All stakeholders should strive to promote free and fair elections There must be mutual respect and tolerance among political parties for a conducive environment for the forthcoming election. That political parties should enlighten their supporters on the need to shun electoral malpractices and destruction of lives and property. That the use of violent language and physical intimidation must be avoided.
Gladiators in the political process also lent their voices to the importance of the sensitization and what it has achieved in the build-up to the August 9 election.
The time was very good. Also, coming up at a time that is very crucial in the life of this state, some 23 days to go.
It's a good forum for all of us to meet, to share that together, and how to bring the state forward. You see, the election is very crucial to the development of the state, because this is where people must exercise their rights, and people must be able to exercise this right within a good and...
The special advisor to the president on inter-party affairs, Ben Obi, boasted about the program's success.
This is not the first time, and yet they've all participated. They participated because they know it's real. That's where they go because they know that it's not partisan. What happened in Ekiti? Was it not here the other day? How many weeks ago? Need I say more?
The story, however, changes when it was time for political parties to sign the communique earlier agreed upon. No single party signed the document, as they claimed it was shunned due to the insincerity on the part of the organizers. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
You're watching Core TV Primetime News. We'll take a break. When we return. Lagos government approves paternity leave for male civil servants in the state. Stay with us.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Nigerians continue to the city of Lagos once again.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west and around Africa, we break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV,
our 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News. Thanks for staying tuned. It's CoreTV Primetime News. Striking lecturers of colleges of education in the country have agreed to resume work from Monday next week. This was after the leadership of the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union met with Education Minister Ibrahim Shekarol in Abuja. The lecturers agreed to grant the federal government a 3-month window to meet their demands.
This ministry will have no business remaining if teaching and learning is not taking place out there in the field. The business of managing education must translate into teaching and learning. And if lessons are not taking place, even if it is at the remotest one classroom primary school anywhere in Nigeria, it is my cup of tea, it is my concern and the concern of the Federal Ministry of Education and the concern of the federal government. And more importantly, when you're talking of teacher education, the colleges of education produce our teachers. And as you all know, the common statement in the education industry, no nation can grow higher than the quality of its educational system.
We had promised that if that is done and the letter for migration was released to the colleges, even without the cash for now, while we put ourselves together to verify claims and all that, we will suspend the strike.
Lagos State Commissioner for Education Olayinka Oladunjoye has debunked a media report which says teachers are angry with Governor Babatunde Fashola for non-implementation of the 27.5% of teachers' special allowances. Oladunjoye says government has continued to place premium on the welfare of teachers in the state. She, however, explains that government is not unmindful of the need to fully pay the money.
Hence, government is working assiduously with a view to paying the balance of the special teacher allowance to its teachers soonest. Government therefore craves the understanding of its teachers on this, bearing in mind that government will not hesitate to pay the balance of the allowance as soon as possible.
On his part, the Lagos State Chairman, Nigerian Union of Teachers, Adeshegun Rahim, maintains that the teachers are agitated over the inability of government to fully implement the TSS, but added that efforts are presently geared towards full implementation of the salary scale.
You take some, you lose some. But presently, I have the feelings that government will pay. And you know, as labor, if government doesn't pay and the agitation actually gets to a point, there is no way to not stumble. But I have the feelings that the way the government is working on it, it will not get to that stage.
The Lagos State government has approved 10 working days paternity leave for male career officers in the state public service. The state also extended the maternity leave for women in the public service from 12 to 24 weeks. Abiola Oluwole has more in this report presented from our studios.
The development is informed by the need to fully attend to the growth of children, which will in turn help to address societal ills attributable to child's upbringing. According to the head of service of the Lagos Public Service, Oluseyi Williams, the new policy will extend the maternity leave for women in the state employ to 24 weeks in case of forced two deliveries, while subsequent deliveries attract the initial 12 weeks, which will commence 2 weeks before the due date of delivery. She added that male officers in the state employ are entitled to a 10-day working paternity leave for first two deliveries of their children.
It will be recalled that in the old dispensation, female officers were entitled to only 12 weeks maternity leave at every point of delivery, while male officers do not enjoy paternity leave. The 12 weeks for the women was to be taken 6 weeks before and 6 weeks after delivery. This new leave gesture by government is further informed by the fact that nursing mothers leave their children in the hands of carers at such tender age of 6 weeks, and one can only imagine the level of concentration to expect from such an employee at her desk. However, at 6 months, that is 24 weeks, a baby is considered strong enough to be left in a decent creche for proper care, having gone through close affection and nurturing by the mother for those very important and delicate first few months of his or her life.
The special advisor to Governor Fashola on public health, Yewande Adesina, affirms that the policy is in line with the exclusive 6-month breastfeeding policy of the state.
The other advantage of this policy for health, I think health is the winner of this policy overall, because it increases the baby's ability to develop their immune system before they actually are exposed to the world, the creche. They reduce lung diseases are reduced, allergic reactions are reduced. They now have the opportunity to eat what their body was formulated to digest, the breast milk, the human breast milk instead of the cow milk.
The new policy, according to the state government, will not affect the output of the workforce.
Interesting. Following the conclusion of a 3-day training exercise for medical staff in Osun hospitals, the state governor Ralph Aregbesola has commissioned the newly acquired 3-dimensional machines for public use. He also gave stipends to senior citizens of the state. Rashid was there. He filed in this report.
As one of the 6 points agenda of the Aregbesola government at making health facilities available for all, the commissioning of the ultrascan machines is seen as timely if the words of the special advisor to the governor, Abdullahi Binuyo, are anything to go by.
For us in MDG's office, the Aregbesola administration programs are a clear symbolism of MDGs, a pointer to the people-oriented approach of Ogbeni to governance.
Aregbesola, speaking in Yoruba, expresses gratitude to all as he commissions the machines and promises to make the scheme a long-standing one. The machines will be distributed to local communities to take care of pregnant women and diagnosing of other ailments, as cash were also distributed to widows and women who happens to be the head of their various families.
The CCT will have a multiplier effect on the society. In all of this, the people are the winners and the direct beneficiaries. Through CCT, we will be giving cash to indigent households headed by women. That is the cash aspect of it.
Aregbesola also used the occasion to pay 2 months arrears of 20,000 naira to senior citizens in the state. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
It's CoreTV News. We'll take another break. When we return, it will be time for business and sports. Stay with us.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733, 014-533-407.
A 24-hour news station.
Hello there, and welcome to the world of business with me, Sabena Izoku. Member states of the West African Monetary Zone, WAMS, are now considering year 2020 for the launch of their long-drawn monetary union as well as the adoption of a single currency. In a keynote address of the 31st meeting of the WAMS in Abuja, Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele confirmed January 1st, 2015 launch date is again no longer likely since studies showed that the performance of the member states on the convergence scale relative to requirements for the establishment of a monetary union was still inadequate. In 2013, only Nigeria met all the 4 convergence criteria. Liberia and Sierra Leone satisfied 3 each, while Ghana, Gambia, and Guinea met only 2 criteria each. Emefiele also noted that members' country business cycle synchronization in terms of real gross domestic product, inflation, broad money, and interest rates remain weak, while the level of institutional preparedness for the monetary union is still not sufficient. Nigeria was Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS to tread carefully in its bid to launch a monetary union. Finance Minister Konjo-Iweala told the convergence meeting of the West African Monetary Zone that the sub-region must be ready before the launch. She cited the EU experience and argued Nigeria, as the largest economy in the sub-region, will be worst hit if the arrangements fail. In an attempt to boost its profitability in line with its transformation objective, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has concluded plans to go into oil bunkering from October 2014. The corporation disclosed this in a statement by the corporation's Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Uhi Elegbe, which quoted NNPC Group Managing Director Andrew Yakubu. Yakubu says the new focus of cooperation followed the recent lifting of the ban on oil bunkering on the country's waterways by the Department of Petroleum Resources. The process of registering the bunkering venture with relevant government agencies has begun, and that the corporation has already developed business model for bunkering on Nigerian waterways. The GMD, as a group managing director, explained that contrary to the general impression that bunkering is an illegal activity, it is actually as a legal business which involves fueling the ships and other marine vessels on the high sea. It stated that the business acquired illegality appellation as a result of the long ban of the business on Nigerian waterways. The European Union says it has given more than 3.4 million naira grant to the boost renewable energy in Nigeria under the Nigerian Energy Support Program NESP. The acting head of the EU delegation to Nigeria and the Economic Community for West African States ECOWAS, Alan Munde, who disclosed this at the inauguration of the second phase of the project in Abuja, says the fund is to demonstrate EU's commitment in ensuring that a greater number of Nigerians have access to electricity. He described renewable energy as solar power, adding that the project will incorporate training of personnel and capacity building. Munde says the grant will also help in strengthening the partnership between Nigeria and donor agencies under the power sector. In his remark, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Power, Godnose Igali, says the improving electricity supply and its efficiency for Nigerian households and businesses is part of federal government's transformation agenda. Igali says the major problem of solar power is lack of maintenance and advocated for training of youths in communities where power projects under the scheme will be located in order to ensure sustainability. The Debt Management Office, DMO, says it sold 100 billion naira, that's about $618 million, worth of bonds with maturities ranging between 3 and 20 years at auction on Wednesday at yields lower than previously. The DMO sold 15 billion naira of 3-year paper at 11%, lower than 11.35% at its June auction, and 50 billion naira of 10-year debt at 12.19% compared with 12.24%, a total of 35 billion naira of the 20-year debt note at 12.14%. The 3- and 10-year were reopenings of the previous issue, while the 20-year paper is a new issue. Demand for the bonds is 263.91 billion naira. And outside Nigeria, BlackBerry Limited, popularly known as BB, shares dropped after International Business Machines Corporation (IBM) says it has planned to partner with the Apple Incorporation to sell iPhones and iPads loaded with applications geared to business users. The Apple IBM tie-up is a set-up to target the customer base that the BlackBerry is attempting to woo as part of the turnaround under the new Chief Executive Officer John Chen. BlackBerry stock has been on the tear this year as more than 50% of some investors have become more optimistic about the company's future. Shares in the BlackBerry fell 4.7% to $10.77 on Nasdaq and 4.3% to $11.62 on the Toronto Stock Exchange after analysts say the alliance could hurt BlackBerry turnaround plans. IBM plans to release more than 100 apps targeting industry-specific issues in retail, healthcare, banking, traveling, transportation, and telecommunications. BlackBerry, however, downplayed the threat posed by the IBM-Apple alliance. BlackBerry says it remains the leader in this market with the necessary software and network to secure data for enterprise clients. And on the stock market report, equity transaction on the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a bearish note today. The Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index depreciated by 111.75 points to close lower at 42,918.52 basis points. Market capitalization decreased by 0.26% to close lower at 14.172 trillion naira. In all, a total of 365 million shares valued at 4.43 billion naira were exchanged in 4,904 deals. Report shows that Mobi PLC topped the gainers chart, followed by PZ PLC, NNFM PLC, Julius Berger PLC, and Total PLC. On the other hand, 40 Oil PLC led the losers chart, followed by Guinness PLC, Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, Owando PLC, and Wapco PLC. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. Coming up next is sport news with Brownson Uwana, who's standing by to give you all the details in sport. Stay with us.
Our style, that's what he delivered. with a flying lead.
Taking them out in the lead.
A very big thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Uwana. Nigeria rose up 10th spot to 34th place in the FIFA ranking released on Thursday, courtesy of the Super Eagles' second round finish at the World Cup in Brazil. The Eagles are now third-ranked African side behind Algeria and Cote d'Ivoire, who finished in 24th and 25th position. World champions Germany climbed to the top of the pile after defeating Argentina in the showpiece final on July 13th. The South Americans are now in the second place. Netherlands, who won bronze at the World Cup, rose 12th place to finish third on the rankings, as Colombia were also rewarded with 4th position. Troubled Nigerian Football Federation President Aminu Meigari has been reinstated back in office after a court order restraining him and other executive members. This was after a High Court order in Jazz squashed a restraining order on members of the Executive Committee on the NFF from acting. With FIFA now expected to lift the suspension on Nigeria, spokesman of the NFF Technical Committee and FIFA instructor Paul Bassi says he is pleased with the settlement and hope FIFA lifts the ban to Nigeria as soon as possible. And away from that, the Confederation of African Football CAF has moved the 2015 African Under-17 Championship qualifying match between Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo set for Lubumbashi from Sunday, July 20 to Sunday, July 27. CAF decision came as a welcome relief to the Nigerian Football Federation, whose official patiently waits positive communication from FIFA on suspension clamp on the country on July 9th. On Wednesday evening, in just the case was withdrawn by the plaintiff, and on Thursday, the NFF communicated same to FIFA, bring the suspension be lifted since the principal reason for the clampdown has been met. CAF declared that it was granted the grace of 7 days with hopes that FIFA suspension on Nigeria would be lifted in a couple of days. And outside Nigeria now, Louis van Gaal described himself as a Democrat, as the Democratic manager in his first news conference as Manchester United boss. Van Gaal, who was appointed in May but was with the Netherlands in the World Cup until last week, arrives Old Trafford with a reputation as a fearsome manager. The 62-year-old countered, saying he's democratic, emphatic to human beings. Van Gaal has been asked to rejuvenate the Old Trafford club following last season's disappointing campaign under David Moyes. And away from the EPL to the La Liga, where Bayern Munich midfielder Toni Kroos has joined Real Madrid for an undisclosed fee for the next 6 years. The 24-year-old Kroos was a key player for Germany as they beat Argentina 1-0 to win the World Cup and scored 2 goals during the competition in Brazil. He was presented to the Madrid fan in Bernabeu on Thursday afternoon after passing medicals. Kroos joined Bayern from Hansa Rostock as a 16-year-old and made 173 Bundesliga appearances under Bayern Munich. And finally, on Sport News tonight, to the world of boxing, Manny Pacquiao has announced that his next fight will be against undefeated American Chris Algieri. The bout for the WBO welterweight title that Pacquiao holds has been scheduled for 22nd November in the Chinese enclave of Macau. Former kickboxer Algieri ended the fight by winning a split decision over Russian Prikonovic in the WBO light welterweight title last month. Pacquiao last fought in April, beating Timothy Bransley in Las Vegas. And that's my final whistle on Sport News tonight. My name is Bronson Uwana. Thank you for watching. Gift Ogete will be back with the rest of the story. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. It's still CoreTV Prime Time News. Now, stories outside Nigeria. On a very sad note, a Malaysian airliner reportedly with 295 people on board has crashed in Ukraine near the Russian border on a flight from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia Airlines say it lost contact with flight MH17 from Amsterdam. The last known position was over Ukraine, it said in a tweet. An aviation source in Moscow reveals the plane had been found burning on the ground in East Ukraine. The flag carrier, still reeling from the mysterious March 8 disappearance of flight MH370, says the aircraft was traveling from Amsterdam on an overnight flight to Kuala Lumpur with 280 passengers and 15 crew. It had been expected in the Malaysian capital at 6:10 a.m. on Friday. It gave no further information on what might have happened to the plane. Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak was seen arriving at Kuala Lumpur International Airport to meet with officials on the tragedy. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko said the jet crashed over rebel-held eastern Ukraine and many have been shot down. Separatist rebels have been fighting government forces in the region. A defense expert says shooting down a plane at 10,000 miles would have required a long-range surface-to-air missile, possibly guarded by radar, that suggests it is unlikely it could have been downed by a portable air defense missile or man-pad, which has a much shorter range. The only other possibility is for an aircraft at that height to be downed by a fighter carrying air-to-air missiles. The U.S. will have access to satellite imagery that should be able to identify ultraviolet plumes if a long-range surface-to-air missile was fired. A number of Ukrainian military planes have been shot down by missiles in recent weeks. Ukraine has accused Russia's military of supplying advanced missiles to the rebels. Earlier on Thursday, Ukrainian officials blamed the Russian Air Force for shooting down one of its ground attack jets on Wednesday. And that's CoreTV Primetime News. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again tomorrow. On behalf of the entire production crew, we say have a very good night rest. Good night.